Hello everyone, welcome back to the muddy field you see behind us, and there's also a peculiar looking object over my right hand shoulder. But we'll get on to that. My name is DigitalDan, and of course I'm joined by Marcus Thrill Riders.
Arr! Welcome to the field! Yes, welcome back to the UK's #1 theme park podcast. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been almost a month, I think, since we've done an episode from the field, and there's actually been quite a bit happening.
Yes.
What the hell is that, man? There's a lot to go through today, so be sure to watch till the end and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and follow along on Spotify as well. There's going to be loads of different episodes, all of the ones you see on here on Spotify, but they'll actually come out early on there, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Awesome.
Yeah, so last time we were here was the day that the planning documents dropped. And it was an interesting day for us. We were here with the BBC for the morning, and then
very hectically
reloading
put
the
in
page.
the clip, put in the edit that Tom did of him just reloading it constantly.
Then after that, we filmed our own episode, of course.
Yep.
Right here, and we were literally here at the time the documents dropped. So all the information we spoke about in our episode is what we found whilst here. We didn't exactly have a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like the base information of what you can see just by a quick scroll through or a quick search up.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously there was a lot of things hidden in there that we missed. Well, there was actually quite major. I wouldn't even say it was hidden in there, but we just completely missed it. And
Which
we've been
we're
meaning
gonna
to
talk
come back
about
and
today.
talk about it. And yes, that's that day today.
Today is the day. First up, actually, isn't from the planning documents, though.
Oh.
It was an article that you may have seen as well about Universal potentially wanting to restrict this airspace.
Yes,
To
yeah,
stop-
actually, I did see that.
To stop people flying their own drones here. Now, whether or not that's during construction or when the park's open, not sure.
Be a bit of a shame to see the lesser construction from above. Must buy plane. I guess with the drones, we only use them a couple times in this series, so it's not going to affect us too much. So if you're watching this series, it will remain as normal. We're not going to stop doing stuff because they're restricted drones.
Indeed.
If they do, you never know. But there was also some smaller stuff that I'm going to mention right now. Shall I go through the little notes that I have, like the tiny little things that don't really matter too much, but matter?
Go right ahead.
It said at one point in the documents that there is an assumption that there will be approximately 6,070 hotel bedrooms of differing types, with maximum parking provision of up to 6,070 parking spaces. So basically, there might not just be one hotel planned for this entire site.
Can't be one hotel. 6,000 rooms.
Yeah.
Are you taking the mick?
Going back to the drone topic, they have mentioned drone shows in the park are being a regular occurrence. That was mentioned.
Right.
So
that makes a lot more sense with them wanting to restrict this airspace.
it does, and I don't know why I didn't mention that.
That's probably exactly it, actually.
that
That is the answer, probably, isn't it? Come on.
It's still interesting to see whether or not they'll put it into force beforehand, or
Yeah.
we'll see. But they've also said firework shows will not be an often occurrence.
Wow.
So drone
okay.
shows will be,
Yeah.
fireworks not. But there is the potential for at least 10 firework shows a year.
So they're clearly concerned about noise, which is interesting. I don't really consider this much of a built-up area. I'd say the closest...
Was a field.
It is a field. Closest residents are Kempston, Hardwick and Stuartby on this side. I guess there's a lot of people living there, but...
I mean, the question is, what's going to be more, noisy? The Back to the Future ride? Or the train? Or the fireworks? Or Jurassic World? Maybe a dinosaur will start roaring. Maybe I'll start roaring. And then one of the other smaller things that was in very small print around, at some point in the thousands of pages of the document was about parking again, but this time an estimated cost for the parking.
Indeed.
Obviously, in the UK, everyone complains about the parking prices, too right. Alton Towers is £8 to £10 now for a day.
Yeah.
Thorpe Park is around the same. Chessington, Legoland the same. Blackpool can be very expensive depending on where you park on the promenade. They're saying, do you remember how much it's going to be? Go on, leak it.
It's going to be about as much as an online day ticket to one of those parks you just mentioned. £35 to park your car at Universal Studios Great Britain.
That's the approximate sort of parking price they're setting for now. which, we spoke a lot about the sort of the ticket prices and how they're going to adjust to our sort of standards.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work.
It's an interesting point because it clearly shows that they are sticking to their American guns with how they run their theme park, at least in that small bit.
£35 is a lot of money to park your car for a day, so even more of a reason to be a season pass holder. Well, might as well just be advertisement for Universal at this point.
Yeah.
Hire us.
Please.
But yeah, I think that's interesting because that also might give us an insight into how much the park will cost, because when we're thinking of these online prices for towers and stuff, you're seeing £35, £40.
Yeah. There's no way they can charge that much for a park ticket if the parking costs that much.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see all of that unfold.
Dan, take a seat, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was staring at tractors. I'm a tractor thuzy now, guys.
For those who wonder, it's a JCB Fast Track 5000.
He's the tractor thuzy, guys.
So we also got a little table that said what was in each zone. So
I don't see a table. There's actually a table over there. It's bright blue.
Hold on to my moo stick for me.
If you say something impactful, I'm going to play this sound.
Yeah. So, Daniel, there is in the core zone. So it outlines specifically what. It's kind of like very brief list of what's in each zone.
Yeah.
So we found out from these documents that they split the zones into 3 zones. This main field here, where the theme park's going to be, is the core zone. And in the core zone is the theme park, as it says. Entertainment resort complex support. So support would probably be like back of house buildings, maybe. Things,
yeah, that makes sense.
Anything to support the resort. Entry plaza is what it says on the tin, I guess. Theme park and entrance plaza, car park and coach park, which is where we think is right where we're sat.
Yeah.
Hotel with 500 bedrooms. So that's...
Yeah, what is going on with that 6,000 bedroom mentioned then?
6,000 bedrooms is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you think of the Alton Towers Hotel and you think of the room numbers on the door, you've got like room 80, maybe room 103.
Yeah.
But like... not room 6,000.
I don't know where that 6,000 number came from in the documents, but my Christ, Universal is planning a hotel theme park.
Transport hub. So that transport hub, who knows?
That was on the original plans, the train station that would go over there.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah. And team member car park.
So in the core zone will be everything we expect from a Universal theme park, when it includes back of house, the actual theme park, all the parking, and all of the entertainment complex area.
What's probably... I've got a bug on me.
Jumping spider. It's a jumping spider.
Cancel the project. Save him. And underneath that, where it says about the lake zone, it says about 2,000 bedrooms, business hotels. Well, it says hotels in plural.
Right. So this is where all those rooms are coming from.
Yeah. It does say plural. Business hotels. Hotel/accommodation, 3,370 bedrooms. And again, entertainment resort complex support, so there'll be more back of house stuff over there, we predict. And it says only applies to future year, not built in primary opening year.
Bog standard. What's exciting though is
the timeline.
Yeah, we have a timeline for what's going on in this project now.
We know how long we have to sit here for.
Yeah, we've been camping back there for God knows how long. You guys
just want a shower. So where we are right now is the centre of 2025.
So we are right at the start, or like maybe a third of the way through Q3.
We're just starting, maybe just at the start of Q3, which is Advanced Works.
Advanced Works, which you can see sort of happening around us. We saw it in the previous episode. They were driving around and you can see some stuff back there. Definitely Advanced Works happening.
Yes. Which is probably a good time to address the poll in the room.
The pole in the room.
Dan, there's a pole behind you.
Is there? It's a blue pole and it's got a red flag next to it. What could that be?
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
Do you remember that plinth that appeared in the in the desert that time?
It feels alien, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just sat there behind us. There's like so the whole ground is just muddy brown, like a dark brown. And then you've got some grey, like rocky rubble around it, and it just looks really, really odd.
It's invaded our landscape.
But do you want to know what it was?
I do want to know what it is.
Wow. I did some research. I'm not too sure what the flags are. There's some little red flags. I'll put some shots on screen. Editing. They say serve on them, SERV. So I assume that means service, and I would assume they're in some sort of line, maybe where some like electrical components are. Maybe it's just going to be future reference. I don't know, nothing too major. The big blue thing, Marcus won't know this, I walked down the public footpath. There's actually another one behind the camera, behind the massive bush over there.
What?
Yep.
I never knew that.
2 aliens in the field. It's a ground gas monitoring point. So they're obviously, again, advanced works has begun. We can clearly see that. They've been doing the borehole testing in this field. Now we've got the flags in the ground, and we've got some gas monitoring points as well. So the advanced works is going well. Along with that, it's not really an advanced works, but the field is obviously a farm, right? Half of it's a farm. It was a farm beforehand. We like a bit of farming, don't we?
We love Farm Simulator 2019.
I have my own farm in the Cotswolds.
We love to cultivate.
Theme park cultivators. It's not an advanced works piece, but the actual field behind, I'll put in some footage again, has now been harvested for what is probably the final time.
Maybe.
Because of the timeline that we can see, we're going to go through more of it. The harvesting has been complete on that side of the field. I think that's the last one. I think after that, it's all good to go for construction of Universal, especially if it gets approved in the coming months.
So moving on into 2026, what starts there?
So end of Q4 2025, or the start of Q1 in 2026, Phase 1B, enabling works and grading. Don't know what that means.
What is enabling works and grading, Daniel?
I don't really know. I think it's just sort of works and grading. Got to remember, whilst all that is going on behind the scenes, there is actually some design work going on, and there's approvals and procurements happening, all that stuff. That is happening whilst we speak.
And then at the end of 2026, sort of the end of Q3, is when infrastructure works start.
But even before that, midpoint of Q2, so that'll be what, let's say April time, utility connections will start. So that'll be loads of electrical components.
Which is probably what these flags are.
They might be to do with that, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting a head
I mean, they're all in a line, and they're either pipes or electricity. Because remember, this field has never had electrics, plumbing, toilets
it's
on
just
it.
Had bricks. And we found out in the Ollie Mann interview that this ground is hotter than most grounds.
Anyway, at the start of Q2 in 2027. 2027.
The thing is, you act like it's far away. It ain't.
It is.
Roadway works.
Yes, roadway works are interesting, aren't they? Because that is what the government is funding.
Yes.
Not Comcast or Universal.
I think that's when things are going to go a bit mental. Because I'm not saying it will go mental on site. I'm saying that's when a lot of people, local, will go mental.
What, get annoyed? Well, the thing is there was a BBC piece recently that I'm not sure if you saw, presented by Nicola, who was the same person that interviewed us for BBC Look East, and she interviewed the people that live on Manor Road.
There's a helicopter above us.
They're after us.
Run!
The people that are still in those houses, because some of those houses, as you've seen in probably a very old field episode, are boarded up.
Yep.
But some of them are still being lived in, and people say that they are being left out the loop.
Yep.
They don't want to leave their house that they've made memories in for so long. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point, isn't it?
Is that the one that Universal apparently went to one of their doors and said, like, if you don't get out, we're going to build the entrance right on your house?
Yes. Yeah, that's a direct threat.
Universal, man, what's going on, man? That's crazy.
So we have to take that with a pinch of salt, really. We have to bring our journalistic equality mind.
We have to keep the equilibrium
Basically, that came from the mouth of someone who's clearly upset living in one of those houses. So someone who is upset might say things on the news. I'm not saying she's a liar. We don't know if Universal actually said a threat like, we'll build the entrance on your house.
It's word of mouth, isn't it? Like, yeah. we can't trust it fully, but we'll have to keep it in mind.
It's hard to judge this situation when you're not in it personally.
No,
it's not our houses being taken away from us.
It's a difficult one.
It's a situation. Anyway,
I never thought the field could get so serious, but here we are discussing people's houses and how they're getting taken away from them.
Yeah, let's get a box of tissues out and cry.
But the roadway works will start at the sort of very beginning, first quarter of the year in 2027. And I feel like if that is just the A42 one, that'll be fine. If they start closing Manor Road, that is quite a busy road, I found out recently. So God knows what's going to happen there. I feel like that might be the start of a lot of people's sort of maybe doubts in the project a little bit. But it'll be so worth it. Like,
people really going to say, nay, nay, nay. Road to rail, Daniel.
Road to rail to the construction of the resort.
Would you believe it? Yeah, if you're thinking that we're going to be sat here for years until they actually start building the theme park, you're right. Because the actual resort construction doesn't start until the very end of 2027.
Which, the thing is, it sounds like everything theme park related. So this sounds like nothing interesting is going to happen before then. And then the theme park will start going up. My opinion is, when it says resort construction, that's my thought of like the roller coasters, the theming, all that stuff. I still think we might see the warehouses, the buildings for these dark rides potentially go up beforehand to get all the utilities in, to then get a resort in.
Yeah. It's not going to be a clear-cut point where it's just like, bang, now we're going to start building the theme park.
Yeah.
It will be very gradual across this whole site and the lake zone.
That resort construction will take us until around about just before middle of 2030. And that is when, I guess, they'll sort of finish it all up. Besides that, there is also, after 2030, a section on the timeline that says 2032 to 2050. Now, in that section, it says Phase 2. So we've gone from Phase 1, A, B, C, D, E, to Phase 2, A, B, C, D. And it pretty much says from 2032 to 2050, there's going to be business as usual.
So open.
Yeah. A non-theme park development as Phase 2B. Phase 2C will be roadway works again, and Phase 2D would be railway works. I have a slight feeling that's their overall plan to bring the Eurostar here, and that's when that would happen. I don't think that would happen for the opening year. I think the Eurostar direct travel would happen that sort of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's very interesting, obviously. Stay with us on the field, because as much as it says the resort construction will start 2027, there's still going to be so much happening here. I think give it a few months and we'll be behind those fences.
Yep.
This is, of course, a public footpath. We say this every time. We should stick on the public footpath as best we can. But once they get full reign of this land and they start building and doing all this stuff, they have the approval from the government, we're getting locked away.
We're getting put in a cage.
And I think it'll be a very pleasant thing to watch. We're going to be grey and old by the end of this series.
We're going to be so grey.
Imagine the video looking back 6 years, 7 years almost, of videos of us sat here just getting old.
Yeah.
Life's withering away.
The last thing that's quite interesting, Daniel, is there was a planning application for a site not here, but nearby, very nearby, in fact, just by the A421, which is the main road, for a whole load of what looks like fast food, drive-through places and stuff to be built. Okay. And there's not really anything here in this local area that is like fast foodie at all. Like there's no like leisure things anywhere nearby. I think this is a clear indication that businesses are on top of this.
Yeah, definitely.
McDonald's, whatever, KFC, whatever it might be, Starbucks, they want to catch traffic as they're coming into the car park with their drive-throughs.
Or out of the car park.
Exactly. I've already heard things about like Premier Inn, whatever hotel chains wanting to build hotels around this area. Businesses are on top of this, and that is the first actual indication that a planning application's gone in to build new drive-throughs literally right next to where Universal is.
And I think that just solidifies that this area in general is going to benefit so much from this project. Bro, Bedford is on the map. And I think that's where we leave it for today. Thank you so much for joining us here at the field. Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. I really appreciate it. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
It's been lovely to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's been lovely seeing you all. And
I've missed you.
Have an amazing time doing whatever you're doing this evening, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this. Subscribe. See ya.
In a bit, guys. going to totally naturally fall off my chair. This is happening completely naturally. Completely... Ow!